Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your review for Metallica Hardwired to Self-Destruct. So this album kind of came out of nowhere in a way. The way how it was going about, you were reading things online, um, and it didn't really seem like we had a confirmed release date. They didn't really seem like they were dedicated to releasing this album. We were hearing bullshit. We heard that they were in the studio, as early as like 2013, 2014. Then you heard Kurt Hammett saying things to the effect of, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They said way back in 2014 that it was going to happen. And they said it was going to happen in 2015. Then at the beginning of this year, he made like some kind of crazy statement, like he would, it will be released by the end of the year. But if it doesn't, it was not to be. It's like, Metallica will always be my favorite band, but I always remember this album as having one of the wackiest release dates I've ever seen in my fucking life. I mean, determining that release date. Then, boom, out of nowhere, a fucking song came out, Hardwired, and then we got our announcement that it was going to be released on the 18th of November. Now, of course, this album has already been leaked, starting on November 12th when fucking Walmart in one state started selling it early. I've never heard of that happening before, like it being that early. I've heard like a day before, but this was several days before the actual release date, almost a whole fucking week. Then around on the 16th, they started releasing like a music video for every single song, which is fucking nuts, and that's going to be the first time that's ever happened for any album of any band, not just fucking metal. A music video for every song. So let's break down this album and let's talk about these fucking songs and, what kind of an album it is. This album is extremely, extremely mixed. It's a mixture of styles, and we haven't seen this yet from Metallica. A mixture quite like this. Now, I know people like to pretend they like to say that, oh, Metallica was straight thrash up until the Black Album. That's simply not true. Um, there's so many songs on Master of Puppets, for example, such as Sanitarium, which are not really thrash, and they venture into almost alternative territory. This is where I never really could draw the correlation of Metallica being a solid thrash band up until the Black Album. It's like, I don't think people have really listened to these songs. Same thing goes with songs like Fade to Black on Ride the Lightning, their second album. Now, yeah, Kill 'Em All, I'll say that album is straight thrash. Now, except for the song Seek and Destroy, can you really say that whole Seek and Destroy, would you say that song, one of the longest songs on the album, I think, that is a straight thrash song? No, that is a pretty, poppy chorus, to say the fucking least. And I'm not saying that it's pop metal, but there are definitely fusions of different styles. So Metallica's always, right from the start, been about being more than just a thrash band, more than just, like any other metal band. They're there to create something different. And you have to be on board with that, I think, to really appreciate this band. And I think that's why a lot of so-called fans find a lot of displeasure with them. They really don't understand what's going on. There's going to be a lot of people who dislike Hardwired. And there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, so far it seems pretty positive. People have problems with certain songs. And I see people disagreeing over certain songs. Now, the first song that came out for this album is Hardwired, and, well, that's going to be the first song on this album. And this is the first thing that you hear. And as I said, it's a great song. It's a really fast song, clocking in at 3 minutes. It's the quickest song I've heard from Metallica that's not a cover. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I never knew why Metallica never went for something short, snappy, and to the point. Uh, you know, Metallica is the type of band that could do 6, 7 minute songs and make them into classics. The Metallica is the band talented enough to do that. But I'm not really too sure why they waited so long to get a song out there that's one of theirs. There's cover songs that are shorter than even this. It's a great song. It's a great way to kick off the album. You've got Atlas Rise up next. We've already heard this song. I wasn't crazy the first time I heard this song, and now um, I've really grown to enjoy this song, and this is why I waited a couple of days to review this album. Simply because I wanted to give it a fair enough listen. I feel like the first time you listen to an album, you're not really experiencing it. You're kind of just listening, and things hit you by surprise. I think it's important to go back and reprocess certain songs, and this is one of those songs. Um, this song is definitely more of an alternative style. It's not like Hardwired, but it is still good, and it still is very, very much metal. I'd say more traditional metal. Maybe not so much alternative. Then you've got Now That We're Dead. And this is where they kind of hit on something that a lot of people are going to have a problem with. This song sounds like it's Reload. Now, it sounds a little bit more aggressive than songs that we've heard on Reload, but it definitely sounds like it could be a part of that album. Now, I really enjoyed Reload. I had more problems with Load than I did with Reload. Reload, I've got a lot of listens out of. To be quite honest, out of all Metallica albums, Load is probably the one I've listened to the least. Yes, I've listened to Saint Anger actually quite a bit because I enjoy that album. But Load, I have a problem with a lot of that album. To a certain extent, I do like it, but I feel like it just kind of stands out to me as just the one that's not as good as the others by like a pretty wide margin, actually. But it's a good song. It just after those two songs, you just notice that one's not quite as good. Moth into Flame. This, as it stands right now, is pretty much tied with Halo on Fire as being my favorite song on the album. This is just downright fucking a great song. It's incredible. I think the song like this kind of shows you exactly what Metallica is all about. I see people really. I mean, this is a pretty thrashy song to me. I mean, there's not really too much where you could really say otherwise. A lot of people are saying that this one was more of a hard rock song. Or sort of Cover Killer Nation was saying that this is more of a foray into hard rock. I'm like, no, it's really not. The song is pretty thrashy, and that might not be in the same style as Hardwired, which is just a straight ahead fucking rush of thrash. But also great solo by Kurt Hammett. It really feels unchained, and it really feels like it's like classic Metallica. Maybe certain points of this song it doesn't, but I'm a big fan of this one. Dream No More. This is another song where it's like right after you hear Moth in the Flame, you hear this song, and again, there's not a bad song on this album, but it's not like this one is as strong. You feel like, okay, well, I just heard Moth in the Flame, that was awesome. This song's pretty good, but it's no Moth into Flame. Now I know, of course, there's always going to be songs that are better than others. Then we're back to Halo on Fire now. This song is fucking nuts. And this has so many fucking sections to it. I struggle to say that it's thrash. It's not, but it definitely is a metal song. And there's quite a few solos in this song, and it really fucking kicks ass. This is definitely Halo on Fire. To me, this is like almost like Metallica's ode to Megadeth in a way. I found a lot of Megadeth in this song. I really did. especially the multiple solos, the multiple sections in this song. It's a long song, and it is a great one. It really is confusion. Well, let's just really sum this up. Confusion, Man Unkind, Here Comes Revenge, and Am I Savage, and Murder One, which is a dedication to Lemmy. Uh, all these songs right here, I feel like this part of the album, those songs kind of, they're, like I said, all good songs, all songs that have a catchy, groovy riff. But all these songs, they sound very, very reloadish, load and reloadish era, which a lot of people are going to have problems with on this album. They're all good songs, but you just kind of feel like they're not as strong as when the album first starts out. It's kind of like what you were looking for. When you heard the first couple of songs they released on this album, you heard a very aggressive sound from them. And I guess when they kind of slow things down in the way and they give you groovier riffs, you're saying they're good, but you kind of wish that there was more. And that's when they round things out with Spit Out the Bone. And holy shit, is this song fucking nice. Uh, if anything, this is the one song that people could agree. This is another song with standard Metallica length, like 7 minutes or so. And this song is a thrash song. This is a song where I feel like this is like their gift to the fans. They're like, okay, if you didn't like anything else on this album, if you didn't even like Hardwired or Moth into Flame or Halo on Fire, well, here you fucking go, you fucking bastards. Here's your fucking thrash song. And this is a thrash song where it might very well be one of the fucking thrashiest, most aggressive songs they've ever fucking done. Fucking awesome song by them. And I see that a lot of people are actually saying that this is their favorite song. And that's mostly coming from the people, I guess, that made the arguments that Metallica wasn't good anymore because they weren't thrash. They became something else. They became who they're not. The people who say that they're sellouts. Well, this is their song. This is their gift. I know Metallica gave it to them as a gift. And, let's talk about the other song now that I want to mention. It's on the deluxe edition. And if you listen to the deluxe edition of this album, buy it, wherever it is, or listen to how I'm doing it on Spotify, you'll see Lords of Summer is back. This is a song we got in 2014 for Record Store Day. It was released in demo form, and it was like a song that was like, and it got people worried about this album coming out before we even knew what it was going to be called, because we're like, no, this is a song that was all right, but it didn't really seem that Metallica-ish. Lords of Summer has been completely reworked, and it sounds great. Now I could say this is a song where I like their tone, I like this sound, and I'm enjoying it. And Lords of Summer, I think it's worth it. Go ahead if you're gonna buy this album, you're gonna listen to it. Listen to the deluxe edition. You also get the Ronnie James Dio melody. Um, and there's a couple other songs. The Deep Purple song, I'm like, could have done without that one. And then you get Remember Tomorrow, and then you get a bunch, which is a Diamond Head song. Then you get a bunch of live shit. So overall, what do I really think about this album? I think it's good. It's a great fucking album. I enjoy it because I enjoy those reload style songs. I'm just saying that certain songs are just more enjoyable than others. And I mean, maybe when you have songs the quality of Halo on Fire and Moth into Flame, you're not, you're kind of just limiting yourself from the start, because these songs are so good that there's no way the other songs in the album can match up to them. But then again, you kind of ask yourself, well, then how about the fact that Kurt Hammett doesn't even have a writing credit on this album? Why is that? Some bizarre story that I don't know where this was reported on, but now the report's coming out. Now the album's out. The guy lost his phone and he had 250 something idea riffs on there. I don't know if they were recordings of him playing guitar and trying to remember what these riffs were, but he had to start back from square one. So I don't know what it was. The guy fucking loses his fucking phone and that's it. He has no input after that at all. I don't know, but I will just remember that the fucking trip to this album was like surreal. It's almost like this didn't even happen. It was like, what? Like a song just pops out of nowhere. These guys were fucking, scratching their asses, picking little shit pellets out of their ass, the whole fucking time, going on huge world tours. And that's what's so impressive about Metallica. No other, band is able to play these venues that they do, traveling all over the world and, getting the acclaim that they do. But these guys, I mean, this was a fucking mess. This album should have been released 2 years ago. And, we finally got it. And the thing was, it's like, how the fuck could this guy only keep his whatever they were, fucking sound files on his fucking phone? With all the advanced technology and equipment, recording equipment that Metallica uses to give us these albums. That is what they do. They fucking save it to a fucking phone. Okay, alright, motherfuckers. So it's a great album. Go listen to it. Long anticipated and everything like that. All right.